Hello out there in YouTube land.
Welcome back.
We decided that we would do a little bit of a get ready with me and update everybody on our current ramblings and whatever the heck else we're into.
Yeah.
And welcome everybody to the month of December.
It's already December. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't fathom it. I just cannot. I'm still stuck somewhere back in October.
Yeah, truthfully, I still feel October.
I just...
More this year than others, I think.
Yeah, it's like my brain has not caught up with the fact that, Yule is right around the corner.
Yeah, I still want pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
And bats everywhere, which, well, I always want bats everywhere.
We want bats everywhere.
Yeah.
We have bats on the Christmas tree, so...
True. Very true. We should do a Christmas tree tour some year.
We should.
That'd be cute. Anyway, so we thought we would do a get ready with me and ramble.
Because we've been doing a lot of just random stuff lately. I mean...
Oh.
I sent Dani a video the other day. I was like, so I saw this in 2014. You have to watch it because I watch it every year now. For our UK people, you've probably heard of this.
Mm-hmm.
Mog the cat.
Oh my gosh.
So they did a little short back in 2014. It's available on YouTube, and it's Mog at Christmas time, and she just has a time of it. Honestly.
Adorable cat. Totally adorable.
Adorable. Fun story. It is kind of heartwarming.
And she's basically us in cat form.
She's got our luck.
Totally.
I mean, seriously.
Don't do anything wrong, and all of a sudden, out of left field, something burns up in the middle of your house for no apparent reason.
Yeah. That doesn't have to do with the demon.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's... Tabby and I, that's kind of like our normal everyday occurrence. It's funny.
But yeah, definitely kind of, if you want a little heartwarming thing, take a look at the link below.
Because it is super cute.
It is super cute. She's based off of a children's book series, too. It's actually a really cute series.
Which now I'm going to have to get a copy of it because I really want to read it.
It's like I've considered getting... I think they have one that's kind of a compilation, kind of keeping it on hand because I have a niece that's just over 2. And I think she would enjoy
really cool. Yeah. She probably would. And I bet my cousin's son would enjoy that. He likes to be read to, so that might be a good idea.
And what better than a cat that just
has bad luck?
Has bad luck. I mean, who also, is also, a very typical cat.
Yes. Not like Darwin.
There's nothing like Darwin.
So we were laughing not that long ago. I'd gone over to Tabby's house to spend the afternoon. And Darwin decided, whatever reason for it, that that day I was his person. I don't ever remember seeing anything quite like that. Because Darwin, while he's been friendly with me before, not quite to that extent.
Darwin, he chooses his people in a day, and sometimes I'm it, sometimes I'm not.
He is a very unique cat. And my dad has decided that he is in love with Darwin. That Darwin is his friend. My dad even sent Darwin a cell phone.
Not a functioning one.
No.
A fun one.
Yes. So... Tabby had to pose Darwin with his cell phone.
We discussed Darwin getting a Santa hat, and I don't think that's a good idea. He might murder me in my sleep.
I think he might.
He doesn't take kindly to things on him, being that typical cat.
And he's not a very noisy cat. I've noticed that.
No, he is not. He actually got a little more what I would call noisy in his later life. Darwin, if you have not been following along with us often or for long, he is a Siamese. And he is approximately 13.
And ornery. Extremely ornery.
He has his habits. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
He has his habits.
One of them being, like, Tabby's dogs will be just minding their own business, hanging out in the living room. And Darwin will saunter in and just randomly start batting at Finn's face for no apparent reason. Poor Finn.
Which I've warned him about this. One day, the dog is going to bat back. And in fact, that happened not too long ago.
Oh.
With Calder, who was my middle child.
Yes.
Darwin decided he was going to do his bat thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Calder batted back.
Oh.
Like, picked up his paw and just...
Mm-hmm.
Calder is a 120-pound Scottish deerhound. So when his paw lands on a cat, the cat goes splat.
Yeah.
To which Darwin took great offense to that paw. And decided perhaps he had made a vital mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you guys up to for the beginning of the winter season? Comment and let us know.
Yeah, because we're doing the usual getting trees in order, all that good stuff.
Trees in order. Baking.
Yes. Lots of baking.
I'm writing
Baking's
grants.
important.
That's my usual thing around this time of year.
And writing grants, while it's, good for your job, it's not really fun.
No. No, it is not. It's, time consuming.
So once that's over, then you'll be able to enjoy the season a bit more. But it's part of the Tabby November, December thing.
Oh, yeah.
Every year.
The joys of being a scientist.
There's my November, December is the helping publishers prepare for the Christmas season and trying to write and work on my own books and do some editing and all that type of stuff.
It's busy, just in a different way of busy.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Tabby and I actually had talked about this not that long ago. She and I, the jobs that we have, it's like we don't ever turn off 100%.
No.
We have our phones on us all the time because we never know when an email is going to come in. And when one does, we just go ahead and read it. I don't know if that is just because we're kind of that connected to our jobs, or if it's just we're so used to having to check email that we just do it automatically. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm actually not either. Well, for me too, I am on call a lot. I have to have my phone on in case lab equipment goes down and samples need moved or
Various other things.
so it can get. You can have long nights with that sometimes. Very, very long nights.
Unfortunately.
It's kind of odd putting on makeup right now.
Yeah.
I have not been wearing makeup a lot in the pandemic.
There for a while it was, hardcore daily occurrence, that type of thing, and now it's just not as common anymore. Like, I'll put it on to go for, like, doctor's appointments or Zoom meetings or something. But other than that, I tend to, I'll just kind of be lazy.
Yeah.
And I can't really 100% blame that 100% all on the pandemic, because I've gone through periods of this in my life where for a while there, that's all I do is anytime I leave the house, I put on makeup and, I do the whole, like, extreme goth aesthetic, all that other stuff. Other times in my life, I just say to heck with it, and I'll just not bother with makeup too often. So, this is nothing new. I could change next week, though.
That depends on if there's an inspiring palette.
That's true, and that's something we've both been really missing lately. I think the last palette that you and I were really excited over was BH Cosmetics had come out with, for Halloween, they had an absinthe palette that was all different greens, and it's really pretty.
And prior to that was the Lisa Frank palette.
And then we really liked that Blood Countess palette from Lovelace Cosmetics.
Yes.
Now that one, if you're looking for a good red eyeshadow, that Lovelace Cosmetics palette has really good red eyeshadow. Eyeshadow. Excuse my tongue.
But other than that, all I've seen lately are just variations of nude palettes, and frankly, I have this color, so I don't necessarily want any more.
And I'm really over the palettes that are only like nudes with like one color, or the palettes that are like all bright colors but you can't wear them anywhere.
And honestly, there are so many out there right now that are just almost like literal copies of each other.
Yeah. And I also kind of miss back when palettes, it was common to have like a mixture of shimmers and mattes and glitters and whatnot. It seems like now so many palettes are like either all matte or all shimmer.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the variety. I didn't necessarily want like only like say only a purple glitter and then like other colors. Like it would have been nice for me to see palettes go back to having like a, say you have like a plum matte shade.
Yeah.
And then you have the corresponding shimmer in a very similar shade to go together. I miss palettes like that. So if anybody, owns makeup companies out there, that's what we're looking for right now.
And I find too that I'm getting a little bit put off of the constant theme palettes.
Yeah, I think that's been overdone a bit.
I mean, there's been some unique packaging and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
that's cool. You know, like the pizza palette and stuff like that when it first came out.
Yes.
That was interesting. But the epic ton of Disney palettes.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
mean,
get
I
that
love
Disney's
Disney.
popular and that type of thing, but I almost want to see. I don't want to know if you really want to call it that, but I kind of want to see maybe things inspired by something instead of branding constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like the one company did like Reese's Pieces and Hershey chocolate bars, which, okay, that's kind of cute, but ultimately you get in there and it's just shades of brown. Because I get it, brown is chocolate and peanut butter is brownish and so on and so forth. But, at a certain point you get into how weird is it to pair something together with something else to make makeup.
Yes. The other thing too is I was really looking forward to. They were going to do a Nightmare Before Christmas palette.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and anybody that has seen Nightmare, you know it's a good combination of black and white and grays, but color.
Yeah.
There was no color, like nothing to match Oogie Boogie, nothing, like that. It was just a very
Yeah.
uninspired palette to me, and I just really wasn't digging it.
Yeah, I'm really. I think some of these companies, because there have been a couple really fun Nightmare Before Christmas palettes, but I think some of the companies are just buying branding and then not using what they're buying to their advantage.
Yeah.
Which, in and of itself, is kind of odd. Because, for instance, like, say somebody wanted to do a Munsters palette, which that would be really fun.
That would be really fun.
But ideally in my head, like Lily Munster would have, like because in the 70s and 80s she had green skin, so you'd have Lily Munster green,
Mm-hmm.
you'd have black and white, you'd have the color of purpley pink that was her dress, you'd have the weird like red that was used around Herman's eyes. You'd have like all these like little things. Like Grandpa Gray, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Eddie Brown. They could even do like a dark green for Spot.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun. But nobody's doing the monsters except for Rob Zombie.
Good for Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Addams Family would be fun too. Like, because when they've actually shown pictures of what the Addams Family house looked like on set, and we're talking about the old, like, black and white TV show, the set was actually painted with all these shades of pink and stuff so it would show up in black and white really well. And it would be fun to take all those colors
Yeah.
and put that into a palette. So that's where my brain goes. I have to admit, I also am very hopeful that they will do a Lestat palette since the new Interview with the Vampire TV show is coming out. I admit to that.
Hint, hint.
Yeah. Because Lestat kind of would be perfect for makeup.
He'd be all about that too, knowing the character.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that whole TV series coming out? Because we have mixed
Yeah.
feelings about this.
It's like, on one hand, I really, really want to see the books done on screen in a more close to the book way. However, the changes they're making in the plot line are not close to the book at all. So that negates the purpose in my head.
Pardon me while I reach out of view of the camera for a second. I need a brush.
I just stuck myself in the eye.
Don't do that.
No, never do that. It's like, yes, Dani can stick herself in the eye with her eyeliner. I remember back in the 80s when we used to get the cheap black eyeliner and then hold it in a lighter to melt it so it would come out really, really dark black.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. See what some of you don't have to deal with now?
Count yourself lucky. And I can't count the number of times that, the old brands would make my eyes water and burn.
Oh, yeah, but warm anyway.
Oh, yeah, because that was what it was. That's all there was, and that's what you did. And we didn't have the money to go, like, to the Elizabeth Arden counter or something like that.
No. As teenagers, no, God. You can imagine, like, the two of us as baby back.
Yeah.
Ever have one of those days where your eyeliner doesn't turn out the way you want it to?
Oh, yes.
Today's that day.
If any consolation, I forgot to grab my lipstick.
What shade would you like?
Well, what do you have?
I have dark gray, I have light gray, and I have a mauve.
I will go with dark gray. I think that'll go good with this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're to the point that we sometimes will just share.
Yeah.
Now to make sure I don't have to clean anything up. Success.
Yay!
So Dani has been working on one of her other books.
Oh, yes.
I get sneak peeks every now and again.
You can tell them about sneak peek if you want.
Let's just say that Jimmy has an interesting experience in hell. And that Tabby is not the person he knew.
And I think my editor, Tina, is going to be very, very happy that Jimmy kind of gets tortured a little bit.
Uh-huh.
She was so mad at the end of the last book.
It.
Yeah, he does. He pulled some crap. So he totally deserves to have some hardships.
He pulled some bad stuff.
Yeah, the end of book 4 is definitely a don't be like Jimmy. Well, we hope that you enjoyed sitting down here and chit-chatting with us while we rambled and did a little bit of makeup. And we'll be back again soon. So, until next time. Bye!